Nyrie, who specialises in showing business owners and entrepreneurs how to get quality leads and turn them into clients. She has an online agency called Leads Explosion, where she offers programs and VIP days. And she works with clients to increase their client base and get inbound leads. Those high quality leads that are easy to convert and walk over hot coals to work with you. And collectively, we work on helping people fill their events. So please help me welcome to the stage, so to speak, Nyrie. How are you, Nyrie?
Great, thanks, Sally. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for inviting me. How are you today?
Yeah, very well too, thank you. Excited to be having this in-depth conversation around sales funnels with you today. So we're going to talk about sales funnels and the simple secrets to success with sales funnels. And I'm going to get trip up over all of those S's this morning. I'm excited to talk to you about it because I know you're a specialist in this area, and I'm sort of new to this area, but sort of really loving the opportunity that a good quality sales funnel and a good quality system actually does deliver to your business. Can you give us a bit of an idea actually how you got started and why sales funnels?
Look, I got started in our own business, which started out as a digital marketing agency, which we still have, Explosion Marketing, and that was back in 2007. And how I got started in the agency was I was actually working the corporate 9 to 5, and I was totally over it. And I decided, well, look, I'm going to take some leave and see if I can transfer my skills into my own business and become my own boss.
Nice.
So that's how the journey started. And from there, we went in, I basically transferred those skills, and we were building a lot of websites on landing pages, and, people were asking us then how they drive traffic to those pages. Mm-hmm. And so we were working on a number of strategies with our clients, and this passion for sales. The reason sales funnels really became a passion for me is because when you're talking about growth in a business, you need to have new inquiries coming in. And the easiest way to do that is through sales funnels. And, it's just a matter of picking the right market and knowing where your avatar or your potential, prospects and your clients are hanging out, and then designing your sales funnels to actually meet that platform and meet their needs there. So that's how I started out with sales funnels. And from there, it's just grown. Yeah. Now I've got courses and everything, and I teach people how to do it in their own business for themselves, just like we do in our agency.
Yeah, beautiful. So you've actually got that, what I refer to as that been there and done it experience. You've set out to, see if you could do it, and you've been able to do it very successfully for yourself, and now been able to transfer that knowledge across to your clients, and are now in that position where you can actually teach your clients as well. So you've really got that in-depth knowledge around it. And I notice this often when we actually talk, you actually have a very simplified approach to it. Because I can imagine, and I know my original experience is people actually, like all humans do, overcomplicate stuff. Probably lots of myths out there as it relates to sales funnels and that sort of thing. What are some of the things that you encounter with clients? What sort of things freak them out, or myths do they believe that aren't true, etc.?
Look, probably one of the biggest myths that I've come across is that there's probably two biggest myths. And the first one is that they need a complex sales funnel. Now, that's not the case at all. You need to really strategize and plan your sales funnel based on the end results that, you're wanting to achieve and the outcome for your business. Now, for example, a simple sales funnel often works best for lead generation because people, especially these days, you've got to get to the point very quickly in your copy. You've got to hit those pain points and get them to take the action that you want them to take. And to do that, the easiest way to do that is with very concise, hit the spot, what I call hit the spot copy that actually talks to them and talks to their pain and is in the consumer language, is in the client language.
Yeah.
That's really important. So that's one of the biggest myths, that they need to be long-winded, complex funnels. And that is certainly not the case. And the last thing you want is to be taking people through clicks and making them jump through hoops to take the action that you want them to take, because they simply won't do it. They'll just drop off and go and do something else.
Mm.
The second biggest myth I come across is the fact that you have to have a lot of money to make a funnel work. That's not the case. You can do it very, very simply and start off small, pick those low-hanging fruit, and then look at other ways that you can scale and grow your funnel.
Yeah, beautiful. And I think something that's I always hear is, I don't want to have to do one of those really long sales pages. And I think we've all heard that. And I always, I still see them around, and I always go from the top to down to the bottom as quickly as possible, e.g. how much is it, what is it, and give me the details, because I don't want to go through all that stuff. And as you've said, there's been that real shift of, consumers just want everything now, especially since COVID. Do you find that there is the requirement for those very, very long sales pages these days? Because what you're talking about with that low-hanging fruit does seem to be that, straight to the point sort of stuff. What's your thoughts on those very long copy? So I suppose that's more of a sales page that's very, very long, isn't it? It's a different process.
Yeah, they serve their purpose for different things. So if you've got a very high ticket offer, or if you're running events, I think, primary, they're great for when you're doing events, especially online and live events. Because and I'm talking about multi-speaker events, because I've got a lot of experience working with multi-speaker events. And to actually get your registrations for those type of events, you've got to have the copy, you've got to have the bio of people, you've got to get people to actually dig in and read the detail and find out what they're actually getting. So I think it's important to have that long form copy there. But if you've got a simple lead magnet, people are not going to read long form copy. You'll find most people, if you've got your headline, they're going to want to fill out their details at the top. Most of them will not follow down and actually read that long form copy. So it serves no purpose. And if anything, it can detract from what you actually want to achieve, and they will click away again. So it's about picking what is the best strategy, what is the best type of landing page, and the extent of the copy you need based on the intent and the purpose of your funnel. So that is critical, in that there is definitely a place for long form copy. And if you're really unsure about things, the best way to do that is when you're getting a high volume of traffic, and you need to be getting a substantial volume of traffic to do this, you can split test.
Yeah, beautiful. And what do you find are some of the common challenges when someone comes to you looking for help, e.g. leads? Most businesses' challenges, I want more leads, or they want more sales so they can convert more leads. And I know you touched on lead magnets and those sorts of very, very simple things. Do people generally come thinking that they've got to have this big convoluted, plan, and don't realise how simple it is, and it can be just a few multiples of simple strategies?
Absolutely. You can run multiple, when you're talking about leads, you can run multiple strategies and multiple simple funnels to get those leads in. And then the idea with any form of sales funnel is you can get them to the action you want to take straight away. And they're fantastic in actually building up your email database as well, because that's where you can really do some heavy lifting, because not everyone is going to, take on board or take the action that you want them to take straight away after opting in on a simple funnel. They're going to sit and watch for a period of time. There are people that will take time to see what's going on and get to know you better. It's all about that trust factor and so forth that we often hear in the marketing arena. So I think it's really important to have multiple simple funnels based on what you want the action to take. I'll give you an example here. Webinar funnels. You don't need to have anything else. And that fills your email database up. And even if they come to your webinar, or if they don't show, you've got emails that back that up, and they can watch replays and things like that. But the thing is, they're on your email database. So then you can keep talking to them, keep the conversation going, and keep call to actions happening. So there are multiple ways. The main thing is to actually get your strategy right.
Yeah.
It's critical to get that strategy right instead of just jumping and really thinking it through spending half a day or a day working out, well, what's going to work best for my business.
For your business and what the client is looking for. And I've heard you use the term simple language, which I'm going to say is that sort of everyday language in the consumer's language, just to make it, I suppose, palatable and easy for them to understand and follow in their perspective. I think one of the things I just wanted to highlight and kept coming up for me was a simple sales funnel that I adopted very, very early, but I do still find lots of business owners don't do, is a calendar link funnel. And people might not think that's a funnel, but to me, if you've got a calendar link, you're actually capturing people's emails, and that is actually building your database. So it surprises me how many people don't have, that calendar link where people can automatically book in and those sorts of things as a way of actually growing their database and lists and things as well.
Yeah, and I think that crosses over to making sure with your content scheduling that you're offering those things, along the way through your content, and you're peppering and seeding that through the content that you're actually delivering. You don't want to overwhelm people with call to actions. You want to be giving heaps of information in between. But of course, having those call to actions there really helps when people are ready to actually press the button and go the next step.
Very much so. And I think I love what you said there, because I often will say to clients, it's never about our timing. It's always about our clients' timing. And when they're ready, not when we want them to be ready. So, so many of them cyber stalkers for so long too, don't they? They consume our content and sort of get to know us at a distance. And they become very, very warm when they're ready, they're ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely. Like I've had people that have come to us and they've said, I've been watching you for 18 months or 12 months.
Yeah.
I'm ready to have a conversation now.
Yeah, absolutely, which is terrific. What's I suppose the critical talking points? Let's dive into some of those as it relates to the strategy. And I know strategy from my perspective, content marketing strategy in my space is one of the most searched terms. So I imagine a sales funnel and setting up that from a strategy perspective is a deep conversation as well from you, and something that's searched all the time. And I anticipate that as humans, we overcomplicate that side of things as well. So can you talk us through the simple steps that you would generally discuss with a client to help them form a strategy?
Yeah, sure. So probably 3 key points we talk through are their positioning. So that's about, how to position them, how to get the messaging right, to actually then be able to attract the right sort of prospects. And through that conversation, we identify who their ideal client is. And they could have multiple ideal clients that they're after, but it's good to focus on a small, narrow niche to start with and test that market out and see, what's going to work the best for them. So we talk about the messaging and how to actually get that right in the client language that they're actually using. Then we, move on and we talk about how to actually captivate, what I call captivating those particular prospects. And this is about looking at the resources that you're going to be using and the different strategies that you can actually use within a funnel plan to actually attract people. So, for example, you could be doing webinar funnels, you could be doing lead magnet funnels, you could be doing the call funnel that you talked about. You can do quiz funnels. There's all sorts of different ways that you can actually attract and captivate people. And, of course, making sure that your content that is going out there is very aligned with what you're doing through all your strategy. And then once you're through that, once you've done that and got all that set up and you're actually tweaking that along the way, then looking at how you can scale and leverage that. And we'll talk about things in the scale and leveraging based upon the platforms that you want to approach. And I'm a very, very big, firm believer in actually building up really good referral partners as well as part of your leveraging and scaling strategy as well. So we work through the whole 3 of those to start with. And over time, as we're working together, they're not cemented in concrete, because different things come up through different conversations and clients think of things, and we adjust things based on the way the market is reacting and responding to what we're putting out there. So it's a living, breathing, let's call it a sales funnel business plan. That's how that works.
And I love that you've talked about it being living and breathing, because I know one of my mentors over the years has said, don't test it in your head, test it in the market, because the market will tell you. And that's where you get your greatest feedback from, and you can, I suppose, fail forward faster and get, to get to the right thing, which is where that A/B testing comes in and understanding the market. Something else I just wanted to elaborate on, having all of these flashbacks to old conversations, was that whole niching down, and especially when I used to be in the startup space, I'd get but I don't want to just serve one person. I've got all these people that I want to serve. And I remember saying to a client, we're not marrying that one niche forever. We just got to start somewhere. You can't create a strategy around all these different things. Let's prove something with that one. So I think that ability to let go of I want to serve everybody all the time, and to give yourself the opportunity to learn and create the right habits and understand how your market really responds, is finding that that one nice niche to work with, so you can actually learn the process. Because when you learn the process, that's where your leverage and your scale comes in, because you can just duplicate and replicate.
Yeah, absolutely. And you find as you actually work through that process, you just start attracting the right people. It just happens.
Yeah, because you've got that clarity and confidence, and that just comes through and oozes through. Excellent. What are some of the, I suppose, when you're going through that process, what sort of challenges do you see as it relates to the strategy? Where is, I suppose, that trip-up point when someone's building the strategy, or just trying to find that one starting point? Is there any commonalities through that process?
I think mindset and just breaking it down. People are in this mindset that they've got to serve everyone, and they've got to get out of that mindset, and they've got to actually be able to step away from what their traditional thinking is and really look at it objectively. So that is one of the probably the biggest hurdles to get through initially with people, and actually breaking down those myths and beliefs that they've had, and they've been told time and time again, and they're still being told out there in the internet world that they must do. And you see so many experts out there saying my way is the best way, and then another bloke over here saying my way is the best way, and then someone else in the middle saying my way is the best way, and they're totally confused. And they just don't know. So just working through that belief and that confusion that comes that marketing has created.
Yes, we're a rotten beast for doing that too, aren't we? Making things overcomplicated for ourselves and the sort of the general public and the industry at whole. So what I'm actually hearing there, and this is why I love a great conversation around there is a simple approach. There is a tailored approach based on who you are, who you serve, and how you actually operate. So there is that variation, that it's not that cardboard cutout solution that one scenario fits everybody. Yes, there's going to be basics that lots of the steps will fit lots of people, but that there is the ability to make it your own and very unique to yourself, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I would imagine with your specialising in the webinar funnels, even though webinars are a very popular and common marketing or sales tool, there would be lots of different intricacies around the webinar funnel that would be designed to suit the person and the audience that they serve. Would that be correct? Looks like we've just lost Nyrie. There we are, and she's back.
Love the internet, love technology, gotta love it.
Gotta love it. It's awesome when it works and tricky when it doesn't. And that's so important to keep systems so very, very simple. So that's a good takeaway for our audience. Always have a backup plan and be prepared to jump in and jump out again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you've always got to have a backup plan with technology, and you've always got to be able to accept that it happens.
Yeah. And I love that we've talked about that mindset element and the mapping out. So there's the mindset element to overcome some of those elements, and then there's the mapping out of the process, because this is although I love a great system, I'm a dive into the middle and let's just work it out. So sometimes that, having that more planned, structured approach is obviously better for the better results, because you don't have to go back and do rework. That's my biggest lesson of late. What would you say are some of the key insights that you hope the audience sort of really gets to understand as to how this can actually help them generate more leads, generate and convert more sales, and grow and build their list so they can build their business?
Look, I think some of the key insights, and I'm going to come back to mindset again here, okay? People, when I talk to them, they often seem to think that, if they build out some sort of sales funnel, that they may not get the traction that they want, that they're seeking, and just accepting that, things may start out slow, but they need to actually build on that and build up their visibility in the marketplace. Sometimes they can think that, that sales funnels don't work anymore, that they're everywhere, that the market is saturated with them. And there are a lot of sales funnels out there. There's no two ways about that. That too many people are using them, that setting them up is just they're not techie, they don't know how to set it up, and they need help doing that. So having the belief in themselves and their business, and making sure that, even though there's not a lot of new stuff that people can offer, it's the way you present it, and it's the way that you actually put it in front of people. And after that, it's the way you actually service your clients.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is it's no good just putting out a lead magnet sales funnel, for example, or a webinar funnel or any other funnel, and thinking that you can just leave people sitting there once they've signed up. You need to actually then grow the relationship. So I think it's very, very important for people to actually have that insight that it doesn't stop when you actually build the sales funnel. There needs to be a back end to the sales funnel. And when it comes to actually building out your sales funnel, if you're not techie minded, and for me, any coach, consultant, entrepreneur, service provider should not be dabbling in the world of tech and building out sales funnel.
So true.
They should leave it to people like us to actually, their consultants, to actually get in and do the work and get the work done for them. Because it's not their swim lane, and it's not where they should be burning up their neurons.
Yes, absolutely. Should be out serving their clients and not stuck behind the computer being frustrated by something that isn't necessarily easy for them to do as far as the tech side of things go. I think too, there was something that came up there around, you talked about mindset, and then there's the element of, building it out and getting the structures right, and that there's lots and lots of sales funnels out in the marketplace. But you also talked about that it's getting it right. So from my perspective, a great sales funnel, and having worked with you, is it actually feels like you. It's an extension of you. It has your personality in it, that it demonstrates that you understand the audience, which are all the sorts of things that we talk about as it relates to content. You can have a sales funnel that just says, buy my stuff, like you can have content that says, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. If people don't feel connected to you and don't have the opportunity to consume you, which is also partly going through a sales funnel, which is where content comes into as well, then they're not going to build that relationship with you. They're not going to build that trust with you and actually end up as part of your community.
No. And I think video is a wonderful thing for that. And some clients I work with, they go, oh, no, I can't do video. I'm terrible. Look, just be you. You'll get better at it. And people like reality. They like the truth. So I think video is a great way to actually help get that out there as well.
Yeah, excellent. And what do you think are some of the challenges that can occur as it relates to setting up funnels that relate to that mindset and the operator dabbling in it when they shouldn't be. Is there anything else that we need to expand on there?
I think it's just about letting go and knowing who's the right person to do the right job, instead of spending days trying to work something else that would take, someone that's techie minded probably 30 minutes to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, coming back to the simplified processes of what simple sales funnels can you put in your business, like your lead magnet, like your quizzes that people love to do, your webinar funnels and those sorts of things. Is there any other funnels that are common that you help clients with?
Probably the other ones that we help clients with are probably the e-commerce ones that are quite complex. They do get very complex with different products. So they're the other type of ones that we do help clients with. But I don't tend to do a lot of them. I really focus more on the coaches, consultants and the service providers. It's really the people that are selling and marketing the knowledge in their head, the course creators, things like that. So course funnels and how you get people to actually engage and get on a call with you and actually, then, jump into your programs or things like that.
Yeah. And I think you've just touched on something, which is why I mentioned the calendar sales funnel is as a coach, consultant, speaker, those people that sell that knowledge, the content creators, it is a personal business. It is a personal relationship. So everything needs to enable them to be able to jump on that call with you, because getting them to there is where they then build the relationships and then do jump into your programs and consume your courses and stuff as well.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. One of the questions that I often like to ask is, knowing what you know now, what would you do different yourself and/or for clients, and then for clients, I'll say?
What would I have done different myself? Probably nothing, because everything that you go through, like everything I've been through, has actually helped me develop the knowledge and the processes around how to create a really good funnel. Okay, so even though some things at the time might have seemed like a waste, there's always things you can take away. There's always learnings that you can take away from your experiences and then share with others. So I think that's really important. I think from the learnings that I've had, the key things that would be learnings for my clients are the best platforms to start on and how to actually market your funnels. Everyone sorts, you see these marketers saying you need to be on Facebook, you need to be on LinkedIn, you need to be on TikTok, you need to be, doing Google AdWords, you need to be doing SEO, article, blogging, all sorts of different things.
Everything.
That is simply not the case. The key thing is to really work out where your market is and where that low-hanging fruit is, and hone in on that first, and then think about what other platforms and what other strategies can then actually, come off that. So I think that's really important.
Can you share a client's story around what you've just shared there as far as that goes?
Yeah, sure. I've got one particular client. And I'm not going to say their name, but they're in the health industry. And one of the key things, they wanted to go out and they wanted to do the Facebook ads. And what they're trying to do is just get people to sign up for their free course first and then engage in their paid courses, which are very, very well priced. And they wanted to go out to every particular platform. And I said, you're going after professionals. So let's have a think about LinkedIn here versus Facebook, because my experience on Facebook, honestly, is you get a lot of tire kickers. You get a lot more professional people on LinkedIn. So for their particular market, the best way to start was on LinkedIn. So when we were talking about the funnel strategy as such, they had this thing in their mind. They tried to get people to sign up for the free lead magnet, but then they weren't converting into the program that they wanted to. And I said, it's because you're not visible, you're not credible, you're your email list is stone cold. They were never communicating with their email list. So we started that strategy going.
Yeah.
They weren't visible. They
Mm.
weren't visible online. There was no content going up. There was nothing. I said, start doing webinars. Let's try doing some webinars just so people get to know you. And all you're asking for is a call at the end of the webinar.
Mm.
Getting past that mindset was really hard because I got all these reasons why not to do it. So we had to work from there. And since then, since they've actually started doing the webinars, they're now getting conversions through the calls.
Yeah.
So breaking down those, those that misbelief about what was right for their market was really, it took a little bit of work to get through that hurdle.
Yeah.
And now getting, like on their webinars, she's actually getting a 34% conversion rate, which is incredible.
Yeah, very, very good. That's good. I'm going to ask a question that I often see in as it relates to my audience. And do you think the process of delivering webinars was because there was a fear of giving their best stuff away? Because I find a lot of my clients, as it relates to content, starting out ones, struggle to give their best content away because if they don't hang on to it, they're not going to have more content, and that's purely because they haven't unpacked it. And I find when they unpack more of their thinking, which is delivering webinars, getting feedback from the clients, and all those sorts of things, they actually have way more knowledge than they first thought. Is that something that you find people struggle with as well? I'm just was curious.
Absolutely. In one of our programs that I work with people on, we actually work through that process because there is a particular technique to what you actually demonstrate on a webinar, what you show people. And you certainly don't give away, the nuts and bolts of it. You take a helicopter view and you pick out, probably 3 key elements and you go over those elements. So it's really important that you're not giving away everything, but people tend to want to give more and more and more.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, no one needs to do their program or engage with them because they've given everything away or they think they've given everything away. So it's a matter of working out, even with your webinar strategy, what exactly you're going to work through and what you're going to give away.
Yeah, beautiful. And any tips based on what you've just discussed there as it relates to those many coaches and consultants that are delivering most of their business online? Is there anything extra that they need to know or be aware of?
Plan, and plan again. Keep planning, make it strategic in everything that you do, and make sure you get someone to do the implementation for you. So that's key.
Excellent. And I'm going to just add on to that, if I also may, that the opportunity for simple sales funnels, and the secret to success is having those simple sales funnel, is an opportunity for anybody, whether you're starting out with just that, that little bit of knowledge, but you're wanting to start building your business and building your list, or whether you are an expert and you've unpacked it and you've got lots of wisdom to share. The opportunity to create those reoccurring revenue and lead generating opportunities are certainly available through getting some sales funnels and some lead magnets and those sorts of things set up.
And there's also that other group that are very experienced and may have these funnels already set up, and they're sitting there scratching their heads going, why aren't they converting?
Great call. Yes. Yeah.
That's where you need to have a good look at what you're doing and why you're doing it and how you're doing it.
And where the market shifted, I would imagine too. Sorry, cutting you off.
No, you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen much of that sort of occurring? Because I've certainly seen with the audience where what used to work is no longer working, and yeah, I love that, scratching their head. They're just going, okay, what's happened? It's all just dropped off a cliff.
Yeah, I do. And I think one of the key things around that is people try and do it themselves. They want to write all the copy themselves. They're too close to it, and they're not copywriters to start with, and they don't really know the language that their market is using. They're not really doing the market research to work that out. And I think one of the other key things, which I say to all of our clients, every year do an annual plan and mix it up, change it up. You don't want to be dishing up the same meal to everyone every evening or every month.
No.
Rebrand it. Do whatever you need to it. It's really important to do that.
And that comes back to being relevant and understanding your audience at an intimate level, that you can provide stuff that that is the stuff that they're needing, that they're wanting to consume, and they're eager to consume. So making yourself easy to buy, easy to consume, and then easy to buy through the sales funnel process and building those relationships. So Nyrie, you've also got, we've had it going across the screen for a little while now, your quiz that we've got there that people can actually take. Do you want to just explain the quiz and what that is for people?
Yeah, sure, Sally. So the quiz is basically related to running your events and how good you are at doing that and where you're actually sitting in the whole scheme of things. And that actually then leads you to the opportunity to have a free strategy call with one of us to actually talk about where you're sitting and how you're going with either wanting to start doing online events and the whole process around that, or, talk about why your online events aren't working and aren't giving you the results that you want, or actually wanting just to do better and get more registrations and more leads to your online events.
Yeah. Beautiful, thank you. And we always like to make the quizzes fun and the strategy sessions informative, etc. as well. So just to recap everything that I've heard today, and everything that we love to talk about is that simplified process. So if you are a coach, a consultant, an author, or an expert in your field that has and does share knowledge with others, so you want to be able to share that knowledge, but you want to be able to build a business around it, or elevate the business that you have already, or rejig things and mix things up, there's an absolute opportunity for you to be able to do that with some very, very simple sales funnels. They aren't as complicated as they're made out to be. They can be very, very simple. And when you've got experts implementing and doing all of the techie stuff, then they do become what I would refer to as a cash generating asset. So it's a different way of looking at it. Your business is, and you are the people that create the income, but the systems that you have supporting you do become your cash generating assets. So I think that's very, very important, that the opportunity is and can be very, very simple. What's the best way of contacting yourself, Nyrie?
Okay, the best way of contacting myself is to actually go to our website, and you can either send an email to nyrie@explosionmarketing.com.au, or you can give me, there's the opportunity there to book in for a call as well.
Beautiful. And is there any, as we come to the close, any final tips or insights or anything that we haven't covered that you think the audience needs either a Nyrie or a Sally nag over, a bit of a reminder?
Look, I'd just say to everyone that's listening and watching, for the sake of 30 minutes, I would say have a call, book a call, and let's just go through where you're at and what you're actually wanting to achieve or are achieving. And let's just see what nuggets come out of that may help you.
Yeah, very much so. I think if I look at all of the different times I've taken those different opportunities over my career, where you just get those fresh eyes perspectives from somebody, it just makes such a difference. Just talking stuff through with somebody that gets it, that'll actually help you have that forward movement, which is obviously the thing that combines us together, is giving that forward movement and that opportunity to business owners to grow. So that's fantastic. Thank you very, very much for sharing your wisdom around sales funnels and how you keep it super, super simple but super effective for your clients. So thank you very, very much for sharing with me today. Beautiful. I'm just going to...
Okay, thanks for having me, Sally. It's been an...
You're very, very welcome. And on the note of webinars, do you have webinars? You're holding webinars regularly yourself too, aren't you? At the moment. Just playing with the tech at the minute.
Yeah, but I have a webinar a month, and I'm just easing back into this year next month. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So, yeah, absolutely wanted to highlight that.
All
so
of those posted.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. So I think we've covered there. We're absolutely talking with Nyrie about simplifying the secrets to successful sales funnels. And there's certainly an opportunity for you to connect with Nyrie and or myself through LinkedIn and our websites. But there's an opportunity to have that great conversation, to see where you're at, to see where you can, where your success can take you as it relates to your sales funnels. And you've certainly got lots of opportunities to consume and learn from Nyrie with her content and her webinars, etc. as well. So we will leave you to enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. Thank you very, very much from both of us. Take care. See you soon. Thanks, Nyrie.